please.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into the PTA post-game show. My name is Clayton. Are you seeing Jacob's camera right now, man? It's so
oh, man.
For those of you who are wondering what we're laughing at, Jacob had to hop off real quick to fix his camera. It's shaking like there's an earthquake going on. He's literally flipping us off in his camera while it's happening because he can hear us laughing at him. So, obviously, welcome into the PTA post-game show. My name's Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Emilio in Tennessee. Jacob, the tech guru. Hey, here we go.
There he is.
What's up, dude? What's up?
Hey,
all right, so we got Jacob in here with us. Yeah, what a game. 40-40 tie in overtime, right? Went the distance. Listen, I know there's going to be a lot of pissed off Packer fans. I love good football. That was a fun game to watch. That was back and forth all night long, like a couple heavyweights, just socking it. It was just unbelievable, man. King Tron with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says an 80-point tie is damn good football. Go Pack, go. I'm glad we're on the same page there, Tron. People gonna think that I'm Tron's burner, or Tron's my burner, rather. But
no, I was thinking it was more like a
playoffs. Don't talk about.
Bro, it was a lot of fun. There was mistakes in between, obviously, listen, we'll get into it all. Seth Reuter with the super chat. Thank you, Seth. He says ties suck. Big missed penalties at the end. Silver lining? ? 2 unblocked field goals for teams, though. I got questions for Rich. Maybe that's probably questions for Rich.
So.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. The extra point. It's tough, you know. Again, my stance kind of stays the same, man. Like, do we think Rich told him, hey, guys, just leave that gap open over there? You know? Do you think they're not? It doesn't work like that.
Did you see that they added Carl Brooks there on the right side after a while? Later in the game, Carl Brooks was the edge guy. But what I don't understand is why can't we just overload one side? I mean, I get that they could still shift around, but if you're still sitting there, you could still flop a guard on either side just to give you – because that – I mean, it seems like they're just over – like – I think we did it one time when we were trying to block the extra point, but we never line up like 7 dudes on one side and just try to like wall down that side. Like put Anthony Belton out there and just like let him just, crush somebody or just do a reverse run block and try to wall down that whole side.
Somebody had pointed out too. Did you hear that Elton Jenkins is not even on field goal block team? Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
A little strange, right? It's your arguably your best lineman. What's that?
Who's 72?
That might have been Brant Banks or somebody called up.
Okay, because he was like on the right. He was like on the right tackle, or like the far right or tight end, I guess it would be on field goal block. Or yeah,
got it. Seth, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Hey, listen, you got reason to question Rich, right? And we're giving everybody a voice in here. So if people are frustrated with Rich, I get it. I'll tell you what I'm frustrated with, and it's not going to be popular. I'm frustrated with Jeff Hapley in the defense. Be honest with you, you get 38 points. What are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like, you got to call a spade a spade. He's been great. The defense has been awesome for the first 3 weeks, right? They were cheeks tonight. But we're just going to not Seth or necessarily anybody in particular, but just as a fan base, right? We're just going to, wow, this is Rich's fault. Like, what happened to the defense? And I'm genuinely asking questions. Like, what happened to the defense tonight? What sticks out to you guys? Because we could sit here and say, hey, man, they were holding us all night, which I would agree with. There should have been a lot of holding calls.
Goose says right there. By the way, is holding still a penalty?
Yeah, not in Dallas.
I think it's supposed to be, but
not in Dallas, evidently. Trey Russ with the dono. Thank you so much, Trey. Appreciate you. But if you meant to say something in there with that super chat, just fire it in the regular chat. Don't pay anything else, and we'll hit it for you, man. Appreciate you. Elder Grimm with the super chat. My issue is it appears that all the stuff we had problems with last week, we did nothing to correct for this week, i.e. penalties and special teams. How many penalties we had tonight? I didn't think we had a whole lot.
It was over double digits.
I think we had over 10.
11 or 12.
We finished with no, guys. No.
We have 8, 9.
We had 7 penalties for 53 yards. Dallas had 11 for 95.
God, I feel like at some point they announced that we had more than that, but maybe I'm crazy.
That's what the box score says here on ESPN, but it could be wrong. You know how that goes.
No, it looks like Jen says 6, Jay says 7.
Well,
yeah, I'm showing 6 or 7 penalties for 53 yards, so I didn't feel like it was an issue. But
or it could have been some of them didn't get accepted.
Oh yeah, that's what Eldegrim said. When the declined, yeah.
Decline. Okay, and obviously Dallas ended up with 11 for 95 there. So we could talk about the positives, we could talk about the negatives, everything in between. We're going to focus on these super chats. Obviously, thank you for the super chat, Eldegrim. Trey Russ, there you go with another super chat. Thanks, man. He says, "Yeah, let's play for a tie. Horrible coaching." So he obviously thought we should be more aggressive there at the end, right? See, I know at the end of the fourth quarter, I've seen a lot of people in the chat were saying what Trey was saying. Like, man, it feels like we're just playing for the tie. We're playing for the tie. I didn't see it like that. What I seen was them start to play coverage, and we were taking what they were giving us down the field, right? Like, I seen a lot of people in the chat, and I'm not going to name names, obviously. I'm not in here to be divisive, but I've seen several people say on that 3rd and 1, why are we running? We had to pick up the first down, and we were out of field goal range, and they were giving us the first down. So if you throw incomplete there, and now you come out and you face a 4th down, and they load the box, and you get stuck, ball game over. You were kind of taking what they were giving you and going with the flow there. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. How did you guys see that? Did y'all feel like we were playing for the tie and not being aggressive enough, or how did y'all? Because I felt like aggressivity, Brady Papinga, shout out, was what bit us in the ass and why we lost the middle 8 there. I mean, we lost the middle 8 14-0 because we were just being stupid, trying to score before half, rather than go, you know what? We got this game under control. Let's take this lead into the half, play it conservative here. So I don't know. What's y'all's take on all that?
I don't know, Amelia. What do you think? So that last play in particular, I thought was a little haphazard. That was just kind of, I don't know. It just looked sloppy, like Love. I mean, if the slightest thing happens, then this game, we'd be sitting over here talking about a whole different type of stuff going on. The super chats are rolling in. So, Amelia, what do you think?
Yeah, brutal way that they kind of got into it, but I think that you're right. You got to kind of you're wanting to score, obviously, but if that's open underneath, take it. It was, chipping away 12, 13 yards a pop. I'll take that any day. Just get us into the range. You got to play the clock. You didn't play it at the end of the second. So you got yourself into this pickle. You've had issues on teams and stuff like that. So why would you want to force a longer kick? I almost was rather having Jordan get up under center on 3rd and just walk it across. Like they were sitting in the wide set all the time. Like we could have had 3 QB sneaks just with nobody in front of him. Give me 3 yards easy. So I think there's just like, if he sees that can, let me just walk up underneath him and go, like, just, to take that kind of control. But
yeah, let me get these super chats cleaned up here real quick. Seth Ruder with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, Micah got held a lot. I mean, a lot. I was in contact with a couple of different huge Twitter accounts. They were DMing me going, hey, send pictures, send videos. This is crazy. And they're firing tweets out. And I know there's some Packer fans that don't like that type of stuff. Well, don't expect anything to change if you're not getting loud about it. That's always my stance on that, right? So he says, blocking the back on a kickoff at the end of the 4th, intentional grounding by Dak. The intentional grounding no call was wild. Like, when Chris Collinsworth was kind of leaning toward, I don't know, it's bad, right? PI on Wicks, my goodness. Yeah, that was just ran right through Wicks' face.
I don't even understand that.
Yeah, it was Tim's favorite crew tonight, winky face. Obviously, dirtbag Mike Tolbert out there. Unbelievable. So thank you, Seth. Appreciate you. Destiny in the house. That's my little cousin. She said, just here to say we them boys. So just so you guys know, as soon as we went live, as soon as we went live, the phone rang. It was Destiny. But I know little sweet, little innocent Destiny was out having a few daddy sodas tonight, so I was afraid to put it on the air. I was going to put it right on the mic. I was a little nervous about it, little Des, but it was a hell of a game. And I told her going in, like, you never know. Dallas got some firepower. They could go out there and score some points, and that's exactly what happens. So appreciate you jumping in here, Des. Be safe getting home. If you need a ride, let us know. Andy Watkins with the super chat said, Jordan Morgan, only 1 penalty, right? That's positive. Yeah, and it happened early, Andy, and I was ready to lose my mind. How did y'all feel about that? When I heard 77, every time they called a penalty on the offensive line, I was going to better not be 77. I swear. But obviously, just one penalty, I think, is what he got.
I honestly wasn't too mad at Jordan Morgan. I thought he played pretty decent. They finally gave him a chance on his left side. Get your feet under you. Yeah, you had one, but I thought he protected pretty well. And I think Rashid kind of had a little bit of a tough go, but I guess we'll kind of see where it lands.
Yeah, definitely. Andy Watkins, so we hit that one, right? Bosco Jenkins with the super chat. Thank you, Bosco. Low effort tackles, blocked kicks cost us 2 W's. Think about that, what he just said. Low effort tackles, talking about the last 2 weeks, right? And blocked kicks. The blocked kicks, that's true, right? The blocked kick last week cost you the win, correct? Or was that the game tying field goal that got blocked? That was the game winning field goal, right?
No, yeah, we would have won it,
We
right?
would have won it.
Okay, so there, and then today, obviously, you get the extra point blocked. That would have been the difference in the game here after everything unfolded, right? Yeah. You're talking about 30 points later or something. It's kind of hard to say that, but nothing you're saying is not true there, Bosco, for sure, man. So Trey Russ with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, I meant our overtime play calling, zero urgency. Gotcha. It's kind of a similar situation there too. I was happy they were running with Emmanuel Wilson at the end, because we were picking up those chunks, right? Because once again, they were playing to cover the pass. So I meant my answer, Trey. I meant my answer both at the end of the fourth and in overtime as well. Go ahead, Emilio.
Yeah, no, time-wise in overtime, I thought was pretty good. You're wanting to chew it up. The problem is they have Aubrey, right? So they get it to the 50 after you kick it off. He's in field goal range. So you want to – I think, honestly, our time issue was under a minute when we hit like 48 seconds or whatever it was, and we started jogging around. Like we had a couple plays in the field of play. We didn't have any timeouts left. We weren't – I think that's I think we need to do a couple fire drills or whatever you need to do in practice, and we need to hammer some of that stuff out. But you don't want to leave them with any time. I think it was, if you can only get to a tie – all right, you get no time left, and let's just get out of here. It's better than having a loss in the column.
And but you mentioned Aubrey, like his kicking, not just the field goal kicking, but the way that he's able to spin that freaking thing. That guy's unlocked a certain key now with the new rules, and it just obviously made it really tough. It's amazing to us to me that we put together those long drives that we did. To be honest,
right? I agree, Jacob. Every time that they kept making us start at the 20, I'm going, this is going to bite us in the rear end. But Pat McAfee was talking about that squib kick that Aubrey and a couple of other kickers in the league have unlocked. It's an absolute weapon. But as McAfee said, he was a guy who started out as a kicker in college and they moved him to punter, right? Like he ended up being a punter in the NFL. And he said the thing about those squibs is, boy, you've got to really be locked in, because if you get used to hitting the fat part of that ball and then you got to go out there and kick field goals, that's going to mess with your psyche. That was his approach. Aubrey is a stone cold killer. Yeah. That dude is, man, he might be the best kicker in the league now. That dude is since our boy, who was the guy that used to be the best kicker in Baltimore before he got all touchy-feely, kicked out of the league, right?
Tucker? Wasn't it Tucker?
Yeah, he's gone now, right? So, Trey, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Corey Murphy says, pay Dobbs, right? Number one Packer fan says, do not trade Dobbs. Guys, when Dobbs walked to the sideline, did you guys see it on camera?
See him screaming?
He was screaming at the sideline. I'm almost positive what he was saying is, you better get me the damn ball.
Yeah.
And you know what I said? I want that guy on my team. He wants the freaking ball with the game on the line, and boy, oh boy, did he rise to the occasion over and over and over. What's your all's take on that? Are we ready to turn the page and pay Dobbs now? What do you think?
I kind of always been – I really hated wanting to get rid of Dobbs. I feel like that he's kind of deserved it. Him and Jordan have that long connection. I think that there's something there with it. The way he's – we had a couple hiccups, couple bumps in the road for sure, but I think that he's come back stronger. It's not like Sean Ryan didn't have a couple bumps, and we've been kind of leaning on him. So you got to give these guys a couple chances, and I think that he's got that mentality that we want.
I seen Eric Sutherland said Dobbs is the best player on the team. That seems a little hyperbolic, but you know what? Tonight did kind of feel like he was the most reliable player on the team,
Yeah. The only thing he missed was that block on the bubble to Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
That was the only blatant one I saw. Besides that, I thought he was reliable, hands catcher, got out there. You got 2 RPOs to him, the lookie and the fade. I mean, that's good.
Go ahead, Jacob. What were you going to say, buddy?
I completely agree with that. When the game time, when the game was on the line, they went to Dobbs, and he has just always been steady Eddie in that way. And the amount of emotion he's showing lately is kind of awesome. It just shows that he actually, came out of his shell a little bit, wants to be there. He's actually like interacting, like Emilio said. He's had more, I think, one-on-one time with Love than anyone. And at the point of this season where we probably thought that we'd have a stacked wide receiver room without Watson, without Reed, he's stepped up in a major way, and I think that he is definitely leading by example. I think that's maybe why like guys like Golden and even Heath and all these guys can look up to him as being the veteran in the room, the guy that's actually there. And I think that he's making an absolute arguments for the fact that we got to pay him something. Like, I wish Tim was here because I can just picture pay that man his money.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Trey Russ with the super chat says, I'm a negative Nancy, but I love y'all still pissed. I don't think you're being negative, Trey. I think all the points you're making are valid points.
Yeah.
You're not being negative at all, man. Appreciate the super chat too, buddy. Let's see. Hardy the Prophet, been a member for 12 months. Dobbs. I think you're saying Dobbs. Dobbs and Golden have the best hands on this team. And honestly, LFG, our quarterback, crushed this game. Clutch, Gene, activated. Hardy, I was going to say this. I was going to open up with this. Guys, with this performance from Jordan Love, I know there's going to be Packer fans that are ticked off and this and that. No one should be upset with Love right now. Love has officially entered the MVP conversation of the night like tonight. I mean, now he's got coming into this game. What do you have? 5 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yep.
So now he's up to 8 touchdowns, 1 pick, and he throws for 337 yards, all while only being sacked 1 time for a loss of 12. There was a couple times he got away from sacks and showed his legs as well, right? Scrambling. I thought he played really good football, as Jen says here as well. So I'm glad everybody agrees on that, because I was afraid we were going to get in here and someone was going to say he didn't do enough. I thought he played really, really well. He obviously outplayed Dak, and I thought Dak played a good game. You guys see what I was saying about Dak? Like, I know you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the majority of the people on the pod were like, they thought Dak was overrated. This is how Dak's been playing this year. Like, Dak stood in there, and he's, to me, he's playing great football. He's kind of in the MVP conversation as well.
Yeah, I think you're totally right on that. I think he definitely is. His just prelims on PFF, Dak was their best graded player at an 85-1, pass of an 83-1, run of a 61. So, I mean, he really did play great. But you're right. I think Jordan with the clutch gene, I said it at the end of the fourth and the end of overtime. If you march us down here, that's you hook your faith onto him and say, all right, you can lead us in a game. Yeah, it didn't come back to get us a W, but we didn't take the loss. So I think that he's got that mentality. He stayed cool. I mean, even after he took that 30-yard run, wasn't even breathing hard. He was calm, cool, collected. We need to keep putting points on the board, and he did, and was did well holding on to the football.
Yeah. To your point, Dak had a pretty good game. 31 of 40 for 319, averaging 8 yards per and 3 tuds. Took 1 sack, almost identical numbers to Jordan, who finished with 31 of 43 for 325, averaging 7.8, 3 touchdowns, and took 1 sack for 12 yards. Like, almost identical. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'll tell you who didn't have a good game. J. Cole says Ron Tolbert is a butthole. Completely agree.
Heard it from a fan right here.
Carl Ward said Hobbs is in concussion. Yeah, and I want to say this, man. It was in my notes. That play that he got concussed on, hell of a play, setting the edge, getting back inside, making the tackle.
He was throwing it around today. He was really sticking his nose in there. Plays
very, very physical. I thought he played pretty good ball game too. That play to George Pickens on the sideline. I can't even remember who it was, but I know Evan Williams came over late. Wasn't it Nate Hobbs in coverage there? Am I thinking right, guys? When he made the toe tap catch there inside the 5.
Oh, yeah.
Nate Hobbs played that about as good as you could. He had his hand in between his arms. Like, I mean, he played it good without committing a penalty there, and just a heck of a catch by George. I said George. Is it George Pickens? Am I thinking?
Pickens, yeah. He had a couple of those crazy ones. Yeah. And then Tolbert at the end with that unbelievable toe tap that just, it was a good game, man.
It was a great game, man. Coach Lynn says, Valentine, I need a word. Yeah, Valentine struggled tonight, no doubt about it. And I know he got roasted for the missed tackle there on the sideline. You could tell what he was trying to do was keep him in bounds, right? Yeah. Don't let him get out of bounds. But, boy, you got to secure the tackle first and foremost. We'd much rather you tackle him out of bounds than let him get another 20 yards, right? So he had a rough night. There's no doubt about it. But it's got to be kind of hard coming off the bench too, because – they didn't start him, right? They had Bull in the slot. They had Hobbs and Key on the outside. And then as the game went along, I think when Hobbs left, that's when Valentine came in full time. So it's got to be a little bit tough, and probably didn't get the majority of the reps, in practice, how that goes working with the outside corners. But I'm with you, Coach. It was a rough night for Valentine. Do we have any prelim on him at all, Emilio?
Sorry. Valentine was 15th. He had a 45-3 so far. Tackling with a 76, but coverage was a 42. He got put in a couple binds, and the one, it was either an overtime or something, that little side shot to Pickens where he was like bailing. It almost looked like he was trying to get into a cover 2 or something. He was bailing, and they just dropped it right behind Coop, and then you got to close back out on it. I think Hafley was in 1 or 3 way too much. I honestly would have rather been in like a 4 shell. It just seemed like you were putting the guys in, man coverage all the time, and it was like it didn't seem like the pass rush was quite getting there. So if we're still rushing 4, not bringing that sim pressure, let's put a cap over the top of it and try to keep everything in front of us.
Yeah. Trey Russ says, last one with the super chat. Can we talk about unspecial teams?
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. I mean, what do we want to talk about? You know what I mean? Obviously, the blocked extra point is the thing that everybody's got a problem with, right? They gave up a couple big returns too, correct? Right? If I remember right.
Yeah. McManus was throwing the shoulder.
Yeah. But here's where I have a problem with the whole roasting the special teams over a blocked extra point. Do we not give them credit for the game-tying field goal there? How long was that kick? It was a 50-something yarder, right?
Yeah, that thing was – it looked like AI. He put that thing down the middle, so it did seem fake.
That's what it was, Emilio.
Oh.
It was AI. Birds aren't real either. And Matt's at the podium. Not sure if you can see that, Clay.
Let's see if we can make it happen here, man. Let's drop this.
I think I got him.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
There you go. That's pretty much it. All right, let's see if we can get it pulled up here.
J. Cole said it was a 53-yarder.
53 yards. So my only argument there is, if we're going to pretend like every single thing that goes wrong on special teams is Rich Bisaccia's fault, do we ever give him credit when things go crazy good?
Like Wheelan dropping it in on the 2 or the 3?
Right. That doesn't have anything to do with him. It's only when things go wrong. That's the problem I have with roasting people like that. But anyway, here's Coach LaFleur. Somebody give me a screen grab real quick. I don't know exactly what AI may do with this. Any kind of screen grab will do here. There you go, Beltas. Here's Coach LaFleur at the podium. I apologize if the volume is low. We got it cranked all the way up. Here we go.
It's on one individual. Everybody. Starting with myself. So we got to do a better job coaching what we need to get done, and then our players we all collectively got to do a better job there. And I don't know, it wasn't good enough.
I understand if you want to play and you're going to make a mistake, but you guys do really for the youngest team that you guys are experienced, even though they're young. Is it disappointing to see some of these small mistakes that you think are more happening in year 3 of this?
Yeah, I mean, every year is a different situation. You got a lot of new players out there, so it's never the same. So I think anytime mistakes happen is disappointing, whether it's year 3 with your group of guys or you got a rookie in there. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Nobody cares. Bottom line is you got to get it right.
That's a fact. We need to get it right.
At some point to try to get back the extra point.
It was discussed. It was definitely discussed. It just where we were, we kept the way the game was flowing. It seemed like there was a lot of times where, there were a couple situations where we had to kick the PAT to go up 4 points. So, it's just like, do you go for 2 there and chase points? I mean, you could.
What do you think about your performance defensively? Do you credit how they played offensively?
Absolutely. You always credit your opponent. Like, I thought they did a good job. Dak has been playing at a high level. We knew this was going to be a tough place to play. It always is. They got good players over there. I think Williams is a stud of a running back. They battled. I got to go back and take a look at everything to give you a better assessment, but give them a lot of credit.
Take one more here. One more, Coach.
5 minutes. Did they change anything? Did they adapt?
Give us a good one, Coach.
If they'll ever stop asking the damn question, this blows my mind. The question should not be longer than the answers, folks.
That's true.
Again, one of the challenges I would say is like when you're so immersed in your calling plays, you're trying to manage and navigate through that. So like I'll have a better answer for you tomorrow in regards to what it is they changed. I don't think they really changed a whole lot. I mean, it's just they made some big plays, they executed. We missed a lot of tackles, and we got to find a way somehow, some way to generate some takeaways.
Yeah, that's the thing that's missing, right? And we kind of talked about this coming into the year. Remember, we were talking about I don't expect them to duplicate what they did last year with the turnovers, because what they did was, I mean, it was extraordinary. It really was. What McKinney was able to do was absolutely wild. If you remove McKinney's interceptions last year, they're in the bottom half of the league in takeaways, right? So didn't expect them to go out and duplicate it, but I also didn't expect them to get off to that slow of a start on the takeaways as well.
Right. Yeah, especially with it being such a key point or focus there in the preseason, in the offseason. They were trying to work on it, punching drills, all that stuff. Maybe Hafley needs to dial in some more of that sim pressure. Maybe we need to fall back on some of that. Maybe we just need to, because I think they're manning up the four ahead, four up front, and they're just saying, hey, we can. I mean, yeah, that's a pass rush, but if we fend them off, they have 70 plays or something like that. They're going to be gassed. You're still rotating everybody,
right?
So.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jacob. Do you have something, bud?
No, I mean, like Emilio, just to reiterate what he said, I mean, me and Clayton talked about that in the pregame show, how we had so much emphasis on the ball king and punching the ball out and ripping, and first guy, holds him up, second guy rips out, that kind of thing. It just seems like it's weird that hasn't came to fruition. And really, honestly, the interceptions hasn't really been there other than that kind of garbage X one, which I hate to say it again. I didn't really see a lot of impact from X this game either. It seemed a little bit suspect, and Cooper seemed like he missed a couple easy tackles. One that's in the back, that was in the backfield, and then I think it was Williams ended up going up and running like for 11 yards, getting the touchdown, absolutely carrying the momentum and making them easily score on that drive. It's tough to see. I mean, we got a tie. I don't know what to do. It's like, what do they say about ties, Emilio? It's like kissing your sister. Doesn't really count, man.
Hey, but I'd rather have a tie than a loss. So I mean, right now I'll take.
Yeah, absolutely. But
yeah, no, I'm totally okay with the tie here, man. That could have been bad, boys. That could have been real bad. I'm happy with the way the team fought in the second half. The thing that worries me though is you're giving up 38 points to a team that's missing their number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
Mark Tauscher sent out a tweet, and I know he's going to catch hell for it, but he said, "Did we crown this defense too early?" Possible. It's possible. But I know this. Everybody was really, really down on the offense the last couple of weeks, and boy, oh boy, did they show up tonight. I mean, Jordan looked comfortable, guys.
Yeah,
when you got a quarterback that plays the way he played tonight and has played consistently, guys, you understand that outside of the Philly playoff game last year, he have like 8 or 9 straight games with no interceptions, right? And then he comes into this year and he's only thrown 1 interception in the first 4 games. Like, that's the type of stuff where you're going to look up every single week and be in the ball game. And I know there's people that don't want to hear, well, we're the youngest team. We're the youngest team. The reality is, and it's why I got so frustrated going into the season, we are still the youngest team. That's always going to be there. Whether you want to accept it as an excuse or an explanation or whatever it is, when you're the youngest team in the league, you're going to have penalties. You're going to make mistakes. That stuff is going to happen. And when you're the youngest team in the league, down 3 starting offensive linemen on the freaking road, and you're missing your number 1 receiver in Jaden Reed, I'm happy with the 40-40 tie. I think we came out. It could have been worse.
I mean, honestly, I like Corey Murphy's quote right here. He says, if we could just get all 3 phases to show up at the same time, we'd be all right. But I love this team. I mean, I felt different about this team. It just seems like a lot of other Packer teams of old, where you'd all of a sudden the defense would show up one day, offense would show up the next, the special teams would let you down, even though maybe both of them showed up. It was like when all 3 of these phases are clicking, this team is unstoppable. I mean, they're a Super Bowl contender, if not a Super Bowl winner. It's just whether or not we can get that consistency, which always seems to lack.
I think it's very well.
And on top of that, the Dallas played the Eagles to a 24-20 loss in the first week of the season, and then played the Giants last week into the overtime. Yeah, it's just the Giants. Who the Giants beat this week was the Chargers, right?
The undefeated Chargers.
So I'm just saying, it's not like they play football too. Everyone gets paid. I know it was ugly. I know it didn't look pretty, but you also can't put it past them for being able to stay in some of these games.
Right, and we beat the Lions in week 1, beat their ass, right? They come out and they smoke the Browns, who beat us last week. Why do we mention this, guys? Every single week, anything can happen. Mike McCarthy used to say this, and fans would roll their eyes and come over the coals over it. He'd say, there are no bad players and no bad teams in this league. The difference between there are good players and there's great players. The difference between a good player and a great player is sometimes the scheme they're in and the players that are around them that are kind of lifting them up and making them look a little bit better. That's the reality of the league. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. Well, how much more proof do you need? So this whole idea that, because the Bears beat the Cowboys, we should have beat the Cowboys. Who said it? Why? That's stupid. Every week is different. Every game plan is different. Every matchup is different, man. That's the way it is, man. Like Coach Lynn said, it's a week-to-week league. It really is. Here we go. I've been waiting on this one. Godsmack with the super chat said, offense was phenomenal. Thanks for the positive. Love it. Someone needs to get a picture of the defense and put it on a milk carton. Blocked extra point was just unspecial teams business as usual, though that 53-yarder was special. Thank you for the super chat.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
Perfect drop.
I think that is all very fair points, Godsmack. I'm surprised you came in a little. That
was a very level-headed comment there, Godsmack.
You got to raise your game back up to where
he probably looked at his bank statement from the other couple of weeks and he's like, I got to be more efficient with these.
Yeah, tell it. All right, let's run through the stats real quick, okay? So let's just stick on the Packers side, and then if you guys want to point out anything on the Cowboys side here in a minute, we will. But Jordan Love, phenomenal night, 31 of 43, 337 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, was sacked 1 time, lost 12 yards. Josh Jacobs finished the night, 22 carries, 86 yards for 2 touchdowns, along of 19. Look at Emmanuel Wilson, 8 carries, 44 yards. Jordan Love scrambled 3 times for 28 yards. Matthew Golden had 1 carry for 5 yards as well. Now, you look at the receivers, the leading receiver for the Packers, Josh Jacobs, 4 catches, 71 yards. Now, can we talk about that play where Jordan Love scrambled and then throws across his body to the sideline? Did that not feel like Brett Favre? Did that not feel like Brett Favre? I love hearing those old timers talk about Brett's name. That felt like Brett to me. I was like, that is
we're gonna give him some
straight up Favre stuff right there. Now, the reason I mentioned that is that was, I think in the end, was considered a forward pass, right? To me, it looked like it went backwards. I guess if you freeze framed it and went back to the you guys remember the Tennessee Titans play, what they call it, what was that miracle down there, Jacob? That's probably a little bit before your time, before you got to Nash Vegas. But God, what was it called? The Music City Miracle, where Frank Wycheck throws the ball.
Oh, yeah.
They literally got computer science to come in, a bunch of nerds to come in and try to line up. Was it a forward pass? Was it a backwards pass? It was on par with that. But hell of a play by Jordan Love, man, improvised. I think we're going to get more and more of that as time goes on for sure. Elder Grimm with the super chat on that 46-yarder to Golden. Which receiver wasn't supposed to be there? All right, Elder Grimm, seeing that Wicks was squeezed on the sideline, I think he was where he was supposed to be. And I think what happened was Matthew Golden is running. He's supposed to run kind of a go. And it's, there's a lot of choice aspects to those routes within Matt LaFleur's offense. I think he went to bend it out. Love throws to Wicks. And as Golden looks up and sees it, thinks, all right, that ball is to me. I'm just going to track it. That's a perfect example of a rookie receiver not knowing the other assignments around him. He probably wasn't thinking, oh, yeah, that's right, Wicks is over here. It was probably just one of those things of, I'm going to go get that ball. And I'm glad he did, But, yeah, that should have been the Wicks, I believe. What's your all's take on that? Do y'all think it was the Wicks or Golden there?
I think it was Golden, probably just getting a little unlucky, just doing the wrong thing and being in the right place. You can see Wicks too. It was really funny. He was like, all right. And he just kind of backed off and just let him. Right? Yeah, no, honestly, because it could be like the ego gets the best of you. Like, this is my ball. It's my route. Yeah. He just said he's in better position and then kind of pulled off. What do you think, Emilio?
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you'll have double goes. I don't think it was particularly the case on that one, but I think Golden might have also just seen how much green that was over there and like bent his out a little bit, like Clay was saying, maybe did a little fade, a little slot fade once he got 10 yards off the ball, but then he turned, like you saw, turned around, saw the ball, said, I'm not dropping that one. And to his point, he had me, or I was sweating on that 4th down in overtime, and you turn and fire it on an inside dig or curl to your rookie wide receiver. And then I said, yeah, okay, Savion, you're probably going to be our number 1 punt returner and number 1 kick returner from now on, because I look, when they said that on the Cowboys pod, that stuck with me. Like, hey, I can't replace him right now with Reed out, Christian out. Like, we're not replacing Matthew Golden. I love the idea on the punt return. He hit the B button a little too early. Like he got rocked, and I felt bad, but I also don't want to see that back, happening again. The way he's catching the ball and trusting on 4th.
Savion just looks like a returner. Let him return the kicks.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what are we doing? And that's, once again, that's on Rich Bisaccia, right? No doubt about that. But yeah, Golden 6 targets, 5 catches for 58 yards. Amelia, I'm glad you brought that up because, man, that catch on 4th down, that's a big boy catch.
And that was all hands.
Hands catch.
Yep. 2 hands, and I'm going to turn and catch it, no problem. Like,
yep. And that's what Collinsworth said too. It's like, no hesitation. I'm going to attack this football and make you grab.
That gave me a lot of faith in my man. Absolutely.
It did kind of on the original watch through, like, watching it live on the TV copy or whatever. I thought he bobbled. I thought the ball might have hit the ground.
Yeah,
he secured that thing.
Yeah, and then when they showed it back on the kind of the end zone cam, I'm like, no, that he caught that thing.
Yeah, Collinsworth.
Here's a guy.
Exactly.
Collinsworth was like Matthew Golden, and then he just somehow seeking Patrick Mahomes could probably put that in there.
Thank you for that, Elder Green. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. So Tucker Kraft, 5 targets, 5 catches, 56 yards. He might be the tight end leading the league in receiving yards amongst tight ends. That would not surprise me one bit. He's been phenomenal this year. Emmanuel Wilson, 3 grabs for 37 yards. I remember a time when that was Emmanuel Wilson's weak spot in his game. Yeah. Now he's becoming as good a 3rd down back as anybody. Savion Williams, 3 targets, 3 catches for 22 yards. Tavion Wicks, 4 targets, 2 catches for 19 yards. Malik Heath, only 1 target, 1 catch for 9 yards. What was his over-under?
2.5, baby.
You got it, baby. We got it.
I think I won some money tonight. I'm not lying.
Boy.
He ain't even checked yet.
Nope.
Luke Musgrave, 1 target, 1 catch for 6 yards there. So Chris Brooks also had a grab for 8 yards. So Micah speaking at the podium is what we're hearing here.
Yep. Malik Heath with a 69.5 overall grade, 19 snaps. He had a 78.4 run blocking. Whew, probably took somebody to the water cooler. Have to watch a couple of those.
Yeah. All right, boys, I think we got it here. If you want to give me a screen grab real quick. That's beautiful. You kidding me? That's perfect. Here we go. Here's Micah Parsons at the podium. He finished with a sack. He did get a sack. We'll talk about the defensive stats in a second.
I think, I even told DY, I said, understanding, the people that you're around. Like when Goody told me that he was trading for me, he said, let me call Kenny before it breaks. The importance of the organization and that. Like, I didn't even get to talk to my owner, the person that drafted me. I found out through my agent. Like, I just feel like, so to me, that emotion side was pointless because same way he called me in his office as a man, he couldn't tell me as a man.
Damn.
No, he's calling him out.
That emotion side was gone. It was more about a respect factor at this point.
I like that. So he's just pointing out that when the trade went down, what did Goody do? Goody said, Micah, let me get off here. I'm going to call Kenny and let him know before it breaks. Like, I want to be the one to tell him, right, to be that stand-up guy. And then Jerry didn't even do that for him. It was his agent to let him know. So that's interesting.
Out the way, does it feel like a relief to you? Kind of look at it that way.
No, because we got 14 games and we got to figure out how we cannot put up 40 points again. So to me, if we're coming off a win and last week was a fluke, I just don't think we've been putting our best film out, and we just got to get better and fix the little things so that way when we get off this bye, we put a great performance at home.
I like it.
Do you feel the same way about this team big picture as you did after those first 2 wins?
Yeah. I think last week we played up to the standard. We was on the little things. giving up 40 points, bro. Like I don't care where we're playing. That's just unacceptable. Like from me and everyone. Like I'm not even pointing fingers. Just like we gotta find a way to get off the field, and we didn't do a great job at that tonight. And I take ownership. Coach and then took ownership. But ownership is one thing, but doing something about it is another. So we gotta I said like tomorrow let's all watch this film as a team. Like let's break it down. Like let's talk about it. I think that's the tough conversations that we need to have all together.
I like it, dude. I love the attitude there, man. What do y'all
Me
think
too.
about that, Mike? That's a little surprising, right?
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. That was exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, got us a leader in house for sure, man. King Sean with the super chat. Savion looked like a grown ass man. I agree. I think Savion looks the part, boys. What do y'all think about Savion so far? It's early, but I think he looks like he belongs, man.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think Savion needs to be in the game plan a little bit more, man. And I didn't realize, was he 6'3"? I mean, he's
6'5", bro.
Yeah, he's lengthy. He may not be super thick, but right now, I mean, he is, and he's not afraid to lower the shoulder. I like every time we get the ball in his hands.
Yep, caught all 3 targets for 22 yards, right? And did you guys see him run the cornerback over on the sideline?
Yeah,
he looks like a tight end out there, man. So completely agree, Sean. I think we got us one in Savion for sure, man. Excited for him to understand his role a little bit more and be implemented a little bit. I feel like he got a lot more snaps than I know. Do you have a snap count on him? It doesn't show that. Yeah.
10 snaps.
10 snaps, okay.
Good deal. 6 pass, 1 run, 3 run blocking, which isn't bad, but I mean it. I think that we're building him up right. He didn't get a lot of game snaps. He was kind of injured through the preseason, so let's work him in. Maybe in the bye you get a couple more snaps for him, get him to 15 or 20 a game.
Yeah. Eldegrim says Kraft is second in yards for tight ends. Trey McBride in Arizona has 9 more yards. How about that, boys? I'm telling you, man, we called it going into the season. This dude's going to be a top 5 tight end, possibly top 3. And the reason we know is because all of the metrics lined up. The only thing he was lacking was targets. And now you're seeing Jordan Love go to him early and often now in the offense. So I'm excited, man. Jason Y with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, if we didn't draft the first-round wide receiver for the first time in 2 decades and have him get killed returning kicks, that would be great. Yeah, I don't like it either, Jason. I don't, man. I don't understand why they're trying to force that, but I didn't understand why they tried to force Amari Rodgers back there either,
And then did you see Wes's tweet? Wes Hobb was saying, he goes, Roman's been catching punts in practice for years, but I think that was the first time he's caught one in a game. Right after Colton gets rocked, you throw Dobbs back out there. I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. To me, it screams Savion. I don't understand. There's got to be something they've seen in practice that makes them a little bit hesitant on that. Don't you think? Like, surely we're not smart.
They put him back there for kick, but it's just fun. There's something wrong with tracking it, or
maybe.
Even Bo. Like, I feel like Bo would be better suited back there.
Yeah, I can see that too.
But he's a gunner. That's the other thing. Bo's running gunner, I'm pretty sure.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the point. So appreciate it, Jason. I think we all agree with you there, man. That's I'd like to again, man, to me, it looks like, as you can see here tonight, Matthew Golden, 58 yards receiving. He's starting to amp it up each and every week. I think we got us one there at receiver. Just don't want to get him killed, obviously. So Chris C, been a member for 5 months, makes a great point. Looking forward to Watson's return. Do you guys think it'll happen week 6? Or do you think it's going to be closer to like a week 8 or something? What do you think, man? Emilio's shaking his head. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rush the dude back. I mean, because you still got to give him a window. Then he gets 3 weeks after that, right?
Yep.
So
let's look at the schedule here coming up real quick just to get an idea. So when we come out of the bye, we got the Bengals. Hopefully nobody's going, oh, that's a win. Have we learned our lesson yet?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like any given Sunday. You like your chances against the Bengals at Lambeau, though. You really do. Then you go down and you play at Arizona. That ain't going to be no cakewalk. And then you go to Pittsburgh and play the Pittsburgh Steelers led by Aaron Rodgers, who I think they're 3-1 now. Am I thinking right, guys? So they're off to a strong start. Then you got Carolina back at home and Philly back home. So you're saying Cincinnati, don't rush it. At Arizona, don't rush it. And then maybe look to bring him back against Pittsburgh. Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe look to bring him back against Rodgers. If not, bring him back against the Eagles. And that's where I would say. I mean, I just wouldn't want to rush it. He's probably going to want to be out there ready to go. But again, dude, he one wrong plan or something like that. Obviously, you can't play scared, but you got to make sure he's ready to roll.
What do you think, Jacob? How do you feel about that, man? When do you want him back?
I want him back next week for the – no, I think that we should probably pump the brakes. So we've seen what happened with Zach Tom, asking him to come out. It seems like we saw that with Jair. We saw that with Bakhtiari. We saw that with a number of guys over the last few years. I'm not saying that it's something that's necessarily wrong with the organization. It just seems that we need to understand kind of the past and what can happen drastically. Adding Christian Watson to this offense would only absolutely supercharge it to a point where I can't even fathom how awesome you'd have to try to, if you were going to gather, try to cover Golden and Watson at the same time. There's just too much speed on that field with Tucker, with Jacobs, with even Wilson. You know, like we've got so many weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Like to Emil's point, don't force him back quickly. Don't risk another injury. I don't want to see that happening to him. I'd say, yeah, even wait till like the Panthers game.
Got it. So, all right, Emilio, as we dive into the defensive stats here, can you have some grades ready to go as we ask you? First one is Quay Walker. To me, it looked like he had a good game out there. I don't know.
Quay was a dog. Top 5 so far, prelim with a 73 grade out there for all 69 snaps. 65 run defense, 83 tackling, 52 pass rush, 73 coverage.
He seems to have turned the corner, boys.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, get to pay that man his monies, right? Yeah, there you go. Jason agrees. So Quay Walker on the stat sheet, 11 tackles, 6 solo, 1 tackle for a loss.
Pay that man his money.
Evan Williams had 10 tackles. Edgerrin Cooper was 7. I thought Edgerrin had a bad game. What was his grade, Emilio?
Edgerrin had just a touch better grade than Quay at a 73-3. Really? He was out there for every snap as well, 69 of them. 68 run defense, 36 tackling. That's where Coop's getting hurt. 68 pass rush and a 68 coverage.
That's probably what stood out to me the most was the missed tackles, right? So makes sense. Xavier McKinney, 7 tackles. Nate Hobbs with 7 tackles before he left with the concussion. Keyshawn with 4 tackles. Rashawn Gary with 4 tackles. The only sack of the day came with Micah Parsons, and what a huge sack, guys!
That's huge.
Yeah, that sounds.
That one was like a $10 million sack right there. That's about half the paycheck right there.
It literally saved the game, essentially, didn't it?
Yep.
The game-winning touchdown. So, yeah. So that is your defensive stats. Looks like Quay had the only tackle for a loss the entire night. That's wild to think.
Your top 5 performers were Mike at 1 with a 94-4 for defense before they adjust. Isaiah McDuffie, 23 snaps. He had a 79.7. Evan Williams with all 69, 79.1. And then it was Cooper Quay. X is 6th. Carl Brooks, Nate Hobbs, and Rashawn Gary all tied for 7th with a 65 flat. And Mr. D. Wyatt at 10 with a 60.3.
Where did Nixon end up? He had 2 pass breakups.
Our boy Keyshawn Nixon was 13th with a 57.2, just below Javon Bullard at a 58.
He got cooked a couple times, too. That comeback route, man, like I don't know what he was doing just standing in the end zone watching everything happen. You got to play through the whistle, right? You got to. Am I wrong there? Am I being too harsh?
I didn't love that he was standing in the end zone, but I'd like to see what happened at the top of the route to know for sure. But I would have loved you at least kind of hustling to get back, shove the dude. I mean, you give him a little nudge and he doesn't get that last toe in, we are talking a different story.
Got it.
And Jordan Love finished 3rd overall in the NFL this week in passing with 337 yards.
Yeah, he's a dog, dude. Brandon McManus was 2 for 2 on field goals with a long of 53. Ice in his veins on that, and obviously had the extra point blocked. Not his fault, obviously, there. Returns, punt returns, Golden 2 for 11 yards. Obviously not ideal. Rome had 1 for 5 yards. Kick returns, Bo Melton had 2 kick returns for 60 yards. Obviously 2 I guess both of them are 30, right? Long of 30, so he had 2 30-yard returns. And then Savion Williams had a return of 24 yards as well. So Daniel Whelan, probably don't even need to look at it, but I'm sure, he had both of his punts landed inside the 20. Just a dog, absolute dog. So I want to point this out as we get ready to wrap up because it is getting late. And I know everybody's got to get up and go to work and all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us in here. If you would, hit that like, hit subscribe, click that bell icon. Thank you all for hanging out with us as we get ready to wind it down. I want to say this. You guys hear me harp on the middle 8 a lot, right? You probably get tired of hearing it. Middle 8, turnover differential. right, and explosive plays. Those are the three key statistics in every football game played in the National Football League. That middle eight tonight, you understand, we lost the middle eight 14-0 because we were being too aggressive in the first half. That's what I'm talking about of controlling the middle eight. That's the perfect example of how to not control the middle eight. If you treat that middle eight like, all right, hell or high water, we would rather it be 0-0 than us lose it 3-0 and not be overly aggressive the way we were and go out there and try to do too much in too little time. If you just do, if you make the mistake of screwing it up on the front side and you go, okay, that's enough, we're playing with fire here, and we lose the middle eight 7-0, do you understand you win this game by 7 points? Like, that was the difference in the game, right? And then, of course, you had the turnover differential. I don't know. They never turned the ball over, right? So am I thinking right there, Emilio?
I thought they did.
Did they turn it over? Let's see here. When did they No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
So we lost the turnover differential 1-0. We lost the middle eight 14-0. And we somehow came away with a tie. That's why I'm in an upbeat mood. We should have lost that ball game. Should have lost that ball game.
Yeah.
And the reason we didn't was some key plays at key times. Jordan Love balling out mainly. That Micah Parsons sack at the perfect moment, right? And a couple plays here or there in between as well. Romeo Dobbs, like we talked about. Matthew Golden on fourth down. Those type of plays. What kept you from losing that game. So, Trom with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says NFC North and overall standings, please. Thanks, guys. All right, let's hit that real quick, then we'll get out of here.
Okay, real quick. Who are the top three guesses for offense?
I would say – go ahead, Jacob. I don't want to see what you think. Go ahead.
Love, Wilson, Tucker.
Clay?
He said Love, Wilson, Tucker, right? I definitely got to have Love in there. I'm going to say Love. Dobbs is going to get dinged, I believe. I'm going to go Love. I'm going to go Kraft. And I'm going to go – this one might catch people off guard. I think I'm going to go right tackle.
Clay, that's the only one you got right, my friend, out of everybody.
Was Kennard?
Number one, Josh Jacobs, 54 snaps with an 80.3. Number two, Darian Kennard with a 70, with all 83 snaps, 76.1. Number three, Matthew Golden with a 72 flat. Number four, Tucker Kraft with a 69.7. Number five, Chris Brooks, 5 snaps with a 69.6. Then Malik Heath would be 6 at a 69.5. Rashid is 7th with a 68. Mr. Jordan Love at 8 with a 68.5. Jordan Morgan, 9 at a 68.2. And Mr. Romeo Dobbs at a 66.5 at 10. So, hey.
So I just won that contest with Darian Kennard.
Darian Kennard.
Oh, man.
I thought real hard, too. I'm like, well, there's got to be one in there that we never would think. And I just remember thinking, Jordan Love scrambled his right a lot. And that means that his right side was protected pretty damn well. So that's the only reason I came up with that.
Yep.
So, there you go. Jacob, how much money do you owe me for that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a cool stat. I like it.
There you go. All right. Tron with the super chat did say NFC North and overall standings, please. Thanks, guys. All right, so here it goes, Tron. Let's just run through the NFC real quick, okay? The Eagles 4-0, they're leading the NFC East. The Commanders 2-2, Cowboys 1-2-1, and then the Giants are 1-3 after their win today. In the NFC West, the 49ers and the Seahawks, along with the Rams, are all tied at 3-1. The Cardinals are sitting at 2-2. The NFC North is what you're probably asking about, right? The Lions are leading the way at 3-1. The Packers are in second place at 2-1-1. The Vikings and the Bears are both sitting at 2-2. Okay, so again, we're going to have the tiebreaker as it sits right now over the Lions with that head-to-head, obviously, right? But they're because of this tie, they're a half a game up on us. Essentially, is what it comes down to, right? So, plenty of time to make
a game up on the Vikings and the Bears, though.
Very true. Look at you being positive.
So that helps us, Clay. But right now, technically, yeah, we would be in the hunt because you have NFC West all at 3-1. So you get those 3 in, and then the division leaders.
Yeah, but you got the Buccaneers in the NFC South sitting at 3-1. The Falcons are at 2-2. The Panthers 1-3, and the Saints are absolute booty cheeks at 0-4 currently. So, they have scored 66 points and allowed 121. It's rough. What's the Packers numbers on that real quick? We have scored 104 and given up 84. The Lions have scored 137 and given up 88. So there you go.
This is it right here. This is what it all. Greg Rice hit it here. If you had told me that we won game 1 and 2 and didn't win 3 and 4, I would tell you to stop smoking crack.
Yeah, I would have thought you were hanging out with Rock Howard, Crack Rock Howard for sure.
Be a crackhead. You got hold to the wrong stuff.
All right, Tron, hopefully that's what you were wanting there, buddy. If you want to see the AFC, we can hit it just real quick. Bills leading the way 4-0 in the AFC East. The AFC West, Chargers lost to the Giants today, which is absolutely wild. 3-1, they're still leading the West. Chiefs are 2-2. They beat the Ravens earlier today, which is pretty wild. Steelers are sitting at 3-1 at the top of the AFC North. My brother would be so damn proud right now, man. And then
Ravens, dude.
Colts and the Jaguars both sitting at 3-1, tied there at the top of the AFC South. So that's wild. Did you guys happen to see the drama at the end of the game between Mr. Duval?
No,
and Robert? Y'all didn't see this? So Robert Saleh said earlier in the week that Liam Cohen was legally stealing signs. So Liam Cohen, this is the guy the Duval, right? The weird, like this guy, he couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag, right? And you got Robert Saleh, looks like he bench presses and squats 500 pounds, right? And at the end of the game, Liam Cohen, he made sure a few players were in between him. I noticed that. But he screamed, "Keep my name out of your mouth," is what he said. Liam Cohen said to Robert Saleh. So we could pull it up, but I'm sure somebody's already got rights to it and we get dinged for a copy.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
That's correct, Coach. Parting thoughts, guys. Parting thoughts is we need to get some sleep here, man.
I mean, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't a win. We had opportunities that we left on the field. I threw up like 3 times.
Sounds like your dating life, Jason. Threw up a couple times.
I mean,
we're going to give him some.
We gutted it out and we got through it. It sounds again like it. No, it was I'm glad that we persevered and that we stuck through it till the end. But it was sloppy and we need to clean it up for sure. The penalties again, while we didn't have as many, I felt like they were in critical times. I think we did, 2 pre-snap penalties on the one. On 2 different drives that just kicked us back out, which I believe we ended up getting points at both those. But we need to learn how to close, how to finish, the finisher move. You know what I'm talking about, Emilio?
Get over! Get over here!
Built to ass. BTA. Know what I'm saying?
Just such a rookie compared to Tim. I'm telling you, it just doesn't run as smooth. Yeah. I'm over here,
my knee.
I love it that y'all have discovered the drops now.
Jason, where's Tim?
Great question. Now,
did
Tim,
that bad drop remind you that Tim's not here?
Yeah, it did. I'm sure it did.
Tim been taking care of family, doing stuff way more important than coming in here talking ball with us. So he'll be back with us.
Chat yelling at me.
What time are you going to come to my press conference late?
He's just rapid firing now.
Hey, like Kintron said, I heard this on the TV, so it has to be true. It was the second highest scoring tie in NFL history. That's right, Steven.
That's my favorite picture. We had a new one here today, too. Look at this one. Give me that.
Get ready to go.
Get me in on the booger sugar. Look at this cat right here. My gosh.
Dude's clubbing. Yeah.
Right. Yo, anything? Party thoughts?
I don't know. I'm glad we got out of there with a tie.
Me too.
Yeah, I'd be happy with a win, but I'd be a lot more mad with a loss. So I'll take it. We're a half game up on the Bears and the Vikings, so that works for me.
Yeah, got it. All right. That's it, guys. Thank y'all in the chat, man. Y'all are awesome tonight. Everybody was, people, voiced their concerns, but everybody was fairly positive. I was expecting this to be an absolute crap show in here. So I appreciate everybody trying to find the silver lining and keeping it somewhat positive. Thank you, iRock. He says, W Stream. Appreciate you, buddy. You still got the coolest damn hair on the internet, man. I wish I could grow my hair. I like that. I'd look like a freak. You look like the coolest human being on the planet. Unbelievable. So, yeah, when you got a melon head like mine, though. But could y'all imagine me with long hair? Seriously.
Honestly, that's what we need Mandy to get you a wig for Halloween.
There you go. Let's do that.
Hideous, man. Absolutely hideous. So, anyway, thanks to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you. Tron, super chat. Seth Ruder, super chat. Trey Russ with the super chat. Eldegrim, Trey Russ again. Seth Ruder again. Des in here talking crap about them boys. Get out of here. Andy Watkins, Bosco Jenkins. Trey Russ a couple more times. Hardy the Prophet been a member for 12 months. We got Trey Russ again. Godsmack AR69. Might have been my favorite comment of the night.
Thoughtful comment. Thoughtful.
Elder Grimm, Tron, Jason Y, Chris C been a member for 5 months, and Tron again with the super chat. Really appreciate everybody. Here's the deal. Didn't have time because the way the game went over late and this and that to put the giveaway together. We're going to do it tomorrow night. We'll be giving away an autographed Lucas Van Ness rookie card, okay? So if you're a member in the Patreon group, $3 tier or higher, or a member on YouTube, you'll be entered onto the wheel, the pinky wheel, and we'll spin that sucker and give away that card. So really, really appreciate everybody supporting the channel, and happy that we can give back to those who are supporting us here. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Again, tough tie, like Emilio said, better than a loss. Packers Cowboys tie 40-40 on the road in Jerry World. We're going to go into the bye week. We'll put together a cool chalk talk for y'all next week with the top plays so far in this early season. That'll be the chalk talk segment of the week. Obviously, it'll be next week. This week will be the Cowboys breakdown, but the tape next week will be kind of the top plays of the young season. But yeah, we'll come back out in week 6 and look to get back in the win column. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank y'all for staying up late. Get some sleep. Don't call in sick to work. And Jacob, don't be throwing up on your partner, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Bye.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.